12-24. That is totally insane. I'm usually shooting my vlogs at 16mm and I'm currently shooting at 16mm using my 16-35. So let me show you how wide 12mm is, okay? Are you ready? Have a look at that. That is so insane. Like, look at my hands. It looks like I'm some kind of like, whoa! 12mm 2.8. This is just pure insanity. Do you want to say hi to YouTube? Hi? Hi. Microphone. You're making Daddy have to clean the lens really well after this. So I haven't really recorded a vlog in a long time, and mainly because like I'm trying to do an experiment on the channel and see if like some videos get more attention than the vlogs, which I actually think they do. But I thought today is going to be the day where we record a vlog and try out the 12-24mm f2.8 G Master lens. This is an insane lens. I really need to clean here in the office, so we're gonna do that by the good old snap. It always works. This is currently the world's widest ultra-wide zoom with a constant f2.8 aperture, which is pretty insane. And like, look at the size of this thing, and compared to the 24mm f1.4, this is not as big as I thought it would be, even though it's a 12mm lens. Like, of course, that front element of the lens is just insane. It looks like some sort of like glass dome that is moving forward, and they have the lens lid. It doesn't have an aperture ring on the lens because it's a zoom lens, but you do have the AF/MF switch right here, and then you also have the focus hold or like customizable button right here as well. And you also have the weather sealing gasket here in the back. That is a must for a lens like this. And you can't actually remove the lens hood off this lens because it's like, it's fixed because it protects the front elements when you're putting it down. I'm kind of interested in seeing how well this lens performs, like when you're vlogging, taking photos and all that good stuff. So I thought I'd use this lens for the remainder of this vlog. Whoa! Whoa! 12mm is so extremely wide. It looks like the office is super huge with 12mm. When I'm moving close to the camera, you still get that really blurred out background, even though you're like super close to the camera, and it looks weird. Like my head. Hi. I'm actually kind of impressed by the lack of distortion that you can see like on the edges and the straight lines. It doesn't distort them as much as I thought it would. I'm thinking that we're gonna try to shoot some street photos because like I've never shot street photos with a 12mm lens, so I think it's gonna be pretty fun to see what we can come up with. Even though I said I would shoot the remainder of this video on this lens, it's not gonna be possible because I wanna take some street photos with the A7R III so that I can show you the best quality photo. It is really windy, Jesus Christ. It is literally so windy that my cat blew off. Ooh, this looks like a good place. Trying to use leading lines when you're shooting photos is a really good way of making your shot more interesting than it otherwise would have been. And I'm gonna try to get a shot of the train tracks like in the middle when there's no trams or anything, because I think that's gonna be a pretty cool shot. Like in the middle right here. Right, let's see if we can get the shot. A couple of downsides with having a lens that looks like this is that one, it's going to be much easier to break this lens, because if you're just going to be like dong, then it's going to break, and that is something that I worry for when I'm walking around shooting with this. Secondly, it's going to be that you can't screw on any variable ND filters for when you're shooting video. But I mean, like if you're buying this lens to shoot video with, then you probably know what kind of filters that you'll need as well. I am personally a huge fan of the look that you get from a 2.8 aperture lens, and being able to have a 2.8 aperture on a 12mm lens is still so insane, and I can't believe that Sony actually managed to pull this off. And if you go up to 24mm, it's going to give you a more natural looking feeling, and this is usually the focal length that I shoot most of my B-roll videos, which is pretty cool because this looks really good as well. But like, look at the insane amount of stuff that fits in the frame when you go to 12mm. That's just so cool. So I'm thinking that this building is pretty cool, and there's this glass area here that if we shoot towards the building, that is going to give you us a nice reflection that I want to use in the shot. Alright, so I'm going to switch back to the 12mm, back to the main vlogging lens right now. Hey, and we're back 12mm. Do you know what is in this box?
I might have some idea.
Unboxing with Oscar Blank. Do you say blank in English?
Blank, I don't know. I haven't thought about it. Blank.
I gotta say, the autofocus, like the face autofocus on this lens works insanely well.
It's a backpack.
Hey!
For all my camera gear. I've seen this before, I think.
I wonder who has one.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be a perfect fit for you when you start your journey and venture in the photography and videography world. Yeah, that looks good. You look fast.
Really, really nice.
Perfecto! Eh? Alright, I gotta head back to the office, so I will catch you soon again on Instagram, Messenger, and everything else.
Somewhere.
Yeah. See you, man.
See you.
So I just looked through the photos that I took with the lens, and I'm impressed because, like, shooting at 2.8, it is razor sharp all the way from the edges into the center, and that is impressive. Having a 12mm lens is not something that I feel the need for in my kit, but I do think it was really fun trying out a lens that is this wide, especially on a full frame camera. And it's also going to be a great lens to like shoot interiors and make it look really big, or if you want to capture that super grandiose landscape when you're doing some dope landscape photography. And I even think you can use this to do a little bit of astrophotography with, but I don't know, maybe you do have to have a little bit wider aperture to be able to do that. Alright, so now you're probably thinking, what is this behemoth of lens gonna cost? Well, it's gonna come in at $2,999 and 3,400 euros, which is an insane amount. It's gonna be like, I think it's 1,000 euros more than 16-35 lens, and here in Sweden it's gonna be like an equivalent to around $3,800. It is not a cheap lens, but I would love to know, would you go for this, or would you go for the 16-35, or would you go for like the 24mm G Master lens? Do drop a comment below because I'm interested in your choice. Now I'm gonna send this back to Sony before I break it, because that would be typical me. Thanks so much for watching. Really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please do give it a thumbs up because that is highly appreciated. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to consider doing that, because I would love to see you in the next video. Peter from Sweden. Goodbye.